Welcome to the breakdown of side plank half bow into Urdhva Dhanurasana wheel pose. So this is an interesting transition. Really, it's a transition. It's an arm balance and to a back bend, and then the transition back out again is back into an arm balance. So there's the first way that I'd love to think about it is to break it down in terms of the three shapes themselves. So we have side plank, we have bow pose, essentially, half bow pose, and then wheel pose. I chose, or what I like about these poses is that, well, most of them anyway, is that involves a lot of strength. Okay, and then the biggest thing, and what I talked about this last week with the arm balance, is it's all really a lot about weight distribution and really understanding the proportions of your body and how it's going to work in your own body. So when teaching this practice, I definitely want to focus on opening up the front body as much as possible, strengthening the arms, right? And then strengthening the back. So in today's practice, what we did for opening up, so generally most people are really tight in the quadriceps and psoas just from sitting, psoas being the hip flexor muscles from sitting, driving all the things. So right off the bat, like in pretty much after I did the warm up, we went right into a thigh stretch. And so, yeah, and so you'll know that if you're in a practice with me and we start off with that, you're like, we're going towards back bends for sure, just because I'm preparing the part that needs the most opening. And I opened it in different planes. So I opened it in a lunge pose, right? I did it over here. We did this one, right? I did it standing up, this one, right? And then I also did it lying down, okay? This one. Right. And so the idea of that is just playing with the opening in different planes, literally like lunge, standing, and lying on the belly, just allows different bodies to be able to open up in different ways. The one lying down is generally the most accessible in terms of on the knee because there isn't that much pressure. The second one would be standing up, and the third one would be lunge. I went the opposite way just because of the way that the sequence was working, but just something to think about and bear in mind. Okay, and so that thinking about the pose itself, right, is that it's on the side, right? I'm just gonna, so the first modification that you could do, and we did it, actually I'll do it, the first modification for side plank would have just, and we did it in the first wave, is right here. If you want to explore the bow pose, and are having a hard time, I might do it this way actually so that you can kind of see what's going on behind me. Come into the modified side plank, come see, okay? And you can even come onto fingertips if you've got wrist and shoulder stuff going on that's not too severe, meaning it's just sensitive but it's not injured. You can come up here, right? And then bend the knee, heel comes towards bum, grab a hold of foot with top hand, right? And then from here, kicking foot into hand, not taking the knee up towards the sky, but just directly towards the back of the mat, right? And kicking foot into hand and then shrugging shoulders onto back, lifting the chest up. So this is a wonderful modification for the first peak pose that we did. And then how you could transition into it from here is you could actually stand up and then come into camel pose, right? Come back up, go back into side plank, right? And then come on out. Okay, so that would be a modification